And welcome to the Jimmy Palumbo Show, show number 123. That's right.
You threw me
We are
off.
here live, coming to you with Dave Sturchio on the Jimmy Palumbo Show here at Shea. Listen, this is a very special show, Dave, because
Oh,
this show exclusively today and today only, all the time, but this show is brought to you by chasingmiracles.com. That's right. I
mm.
had to let up with them. Why? Because due to a technical malfunction and my papers falling on the floor, we didn't really mention Chasing Miracles last week. So therefore, I'm going to make a little bit of a bigger deal out of chasingmiracles.com with
Mm.
their phototherapy patches, the X39 and X48. You put them, I'm wearing them right now, one on my ankle, one on my back. They regenerate your stem cells, make you healthier, reactivating a bunch of stuff, make you feel younger. You got to go to chasingmiracles.com. Go talk to Tommy and Donna. They know what they're doing. They also have hydration packs available. My ankle has been feeling better, so I can say that these things are working. My mother just started them on her knee. We'll see. Got to give it about 30 days to see how
Mhm.
that goes.
Mhm.
Maybe we can avoid my mother getting some surgery there. So chasingmiracles.com, all kinds of cool things. Go check it out. God bless America. So we are here, of course, what we do. I pulled a card off the top of the list right now. And this is
Mhm.
another, I am just leading the league in the flawed players. That's why all these players should be playing for the Yankees now because the Yankees stink and they strike out all the time. This guy, he was pretty good. My brother's going to yell at me because he's going to know exactly what this is. I got his 1980 card, and he is Big George Scott.
Signed?
Yeah, yeah, no, that's the fake. Remember they did the fake signature?
I was gonna say, man. Oh man, look at
Come on,
that.
I would love that. He's dead, so I can't get it signed now.
Oh no, they can't sign it anymore.
But listen, George Scott played 14 years in the bigs, 66 to 79. He died in 2013. He batted 268, 271 home runs, 1,000 RBIs. He was 8 hits shy of 2,000. The funny thing is the actor, the actor's name, George C. Scott, right? And this is just George Scott, right?
Mm.
But George Scott, the baseball player's middle name is Charles. So he actually is George C. Scott.
Wow.
I don't think people know that. That's one of the my buddy Vin Diddy's driving off the road right now because I know he's like that's so they're both George C. Scott. I think George Scott could hit a little better than Patton. But
Does Venditti does by any chance does Venditti know you do the show with me now? Or no?
I don't know.
You got to tell him. Hey,
I got to let him know.
Steve, if you're listening, Zamboni says hello from 2007.
That's so great. So yeah, George Scott. Listen, he played with Boston, Milwaukee, back with Boston, the Royals, and 1 year with the Yankees. He played the 67 World Series. His best year was probably 75. He batted 306, hit 36 home runs, had 110 RBIs, which of course means he's a $30 million a year player. Yeah. In Boston with 77, he batted 269, 33 ding-dongs, 95 RBIs, three-time All-Star.
Okay.
79, he was with the Yankees. He was shot. But he had 47 at-bats, like 40. He batted 318, hit one home run. He's also had 8 Golden Gloves. So he was like one of the early, probably one of the best first basemen defensively the Red Sox have ever had. One of the best. He had 8 Gold Gloves. That's a lot, even though Gold Gloves are shaky. But still, you got to win 8.
No, Gold Gloves are. I think the Gold Gloves and the Silver Sluggers. I think those are still legitimate.
Right, legit, right? In 76, he was traded with Bernie Carbo to the Red Sox for Cecil Cooper, another flawed player.
The old Cecil Cooper.
He managed in the indie leagues. I was Googling him. It's like they had a whole thing how he was he picked cotton when he was in his youth in Mississippi and stuff. He came from a poor family. But here's one cool thing that I think you don't know this, but you should know it.
No.
Now, from wiffle ball. And we used to remember those lousy plastic helmets we used to wear? The ones that like didn't protect you. They were like,
right.
Well, I think they still sell them now.
That's for aesthetics, really.
Yeah, now they have mini ones that they put the Dippin' Dots in at the stadium. It's awful.
Yeah.
But he wore a batting helmet, the ones without the ones coming while he's played the field because some fan threw some stuff at him one time.
What's this guy did that? John Olerud.
Yeah, well, it was well before John Underwood. He wore that.
Maybe he got the idea from that.
He did it because he got hit. Underwood got hit while batting. George Scott got hit like from the stand. Somebody threw a beer at him or something. So when we used to play wiffle ball and you had to beat George Scott, just to say, you had to wear the plastic helmet to beat George Scott, which is so funny. Again, 8 people get that, but it's funny as hell. He was also, is another very funny thing. He was ejected from a little league because he was too good. I find that you know what? That to me, that's the new stat for me. Like, and I'm gonna go up to A-Rod. A-Rod, you play Little League? Yeah. Did you ever get kicked out because you were too good? What George Scott did. I think that's hysterical. Anyway, he was a great wiffle ball player for me. I was always imitating George Scott at the plate. So that's my guy, George Scott. Big George Scott. The boomer.
Jimmy, I have to. I got to change up the sport. And I got to change up. I have to. I mean, look, baseball to me right now, especially after yesterday's debacle again, after winning 3 straight, the Yankees, I was like, oh, you know what? This is going to be fun. Like, we're finally going to go on a little bit of a run. And then the Mets spanked us last night. So I'm just like, you know what? The hell with this shit. I don't even know why I'm still wearing a hat. By next week, you will see me with a star on my head because it's football season. Camp is open. I have to go old school here. And I want to bring up the GOAT debate here with you, Jimmy. Do you think Mr. Emmitt Smith is the greatest running back of all time? Now, look, this card in specific, if you recognize this card, all right, let's get a little in focus here.
Probably a Giant game when he ran all over the place. It is the Giant
game where he broke his shoulder. And my father was at that game. He comes out of locker room with a little bit of an injection in his shoulder. And, he turns off, just one of the greatest, gutsiest performances of all time. But I ask you, Jimmy, as a Giants fan, is it hard for you to admit that he's one of the all-time greats, if not the greatest?
Well, no, first of all, he's definitely not the greatest.
Stats
I would not want him to go.
Stats don't lie. He's the all-time leading rusher.
They certainly do lie.
If you're about to throw
I think he's
offensive line thing. Like,
there's a little bit of that.
A little bit. They have one Hall of Famer. One.
Yeah, but they were some big holes for him. Listen, he's definitely in that. Listen, you can't. Yeah, I can't stand the Cowboys. You know that. But Emmitt Smith, usually the guys I hate are the ones that like I hate Michael Jordan. I hate Durant. I hate the ones that always beat my teams or don't sign with my team. Right. Jason Witten, listen, I think like right now, no one's near him. I think Jason Witten is a loner because he doesn't want anybody near him. Because when he played against the Giants, he was like, guys, I just want to be left alone in the secondary. Okay. Because it would be like, it would be like 3rd and 9, and Giants are putting pressure, rolls around in the middle. And Jason Witten, he would catch the ball. I've done this so many times on the show. I hate it. He would catch the ball, and he would be 10 yards, and then you would look, and all you would see is like green pastures, and he would ramble. He wasn't all that fast. He was fast, but he would ramble another 25 yards. You're like, how come? Why in the huddles? Everybody got Witten. You got Witten. You got Witten. You got it, right? You got Witten. Because when Lawrence Taylor, the linemen were like 56, who's got him? Please, someone cover him, right? Witten was open on every play, annoyed my soul. But Emmitt Smith was a great player. Best running back of all time. I got to be honest with you. I think Dorsett was better than him. But
do you really?
He was. You forget how people forget how good Dorsett was. Then you got other guys. I mean, another guy. Unfortunately, the Juice, OJ. But
anybody.
The Jim Brown thing was too long ago. I don't know.
I mean, to me, the only guy that kind of like holds a candle to Emmitt would probably be Barry Sanders to me. I think he was like a human highlight reel.
There.
He just never had any team success.
I would say Emmitt Smith definitely in the top 5 for sure, no doubt, no doubt. Like an easy top 5, not like you know what I mean. Not a Emmitt. He was great, and he broke my heart that night because I believe Cowboys won the Super Bowl that year. I think right.
Yeah.
I think if the Giants had won that game, the Giants would have won the Super Bowl that year.
I believe it was for the division.
Damn right it was. And we had to go on the road, and it was the number. That game was so huge because the winner got like home field throughout and all that, and Cowboys needed that as well. And Jimmy Johnson, the whole thing. And Emmitt Smith had a great game. I think there was a shitty play by Giants on that. My brother's gonna kill me because I was at the game. And there was something happened weird, like some Giant did something shitty. I should know this. I forget. I probably just burnt it out of my brain. But it certainly was. And as a Cowboy fan, it was a great game. But the bottom line was Eli Manning beat you guys when you were like 14-0 or something, and we beat Tom Brady. And
all good.
That's all.
Hey, we retired Tom Brady. Cowboys retired Tom
That's
Brady.
true. So Emmitt Smith. So there you go. Emmitt Smith, certainly a great player, leading rusher of all time and all that. Not quite what we do. We usually want a shitty guy.
All right, I'll start.
You know what?
Listen, you know how hard it is for me to find shitty cards in this place?
First of all,
everything's of value here.
That's right. It's like, well, listen, the
I'm
bottom
going to go back.
you know what?
I'll tell you my old collection. I'll do that.
Tell you what, I'll give you an assignment for next week's show. It's very simple.
Right. Mm-hmm.
You got Witten, and who's the other tight end? And Novacek, another guy who was almost open every play.
Jumping Jay.
Okay. Give me what there, but somewhere in there had to be a shitty tight end for the Cowboys during the Hogaboom years.
So, no, even after that.
But don't say now. Save it for next week. So your assignment for next week.
I gotta find a card.
I tell you what, I'll allow you not to find the card because I want to hear some shitty tight ends. By the way, it's not as many as you think.
Listen, we went through some hard times.
Wait a minute. Novacek played for like 17 years, and
Novacek was done in like 99 or 98, and then we didn't get Witten until like 2005, 6.
Right, so there's like a 6-year.
That's the
tight ends I want to see.
Yeah, I'll educate the masses next week about the shitty Cowboy tight ends.
And I don't even know who my next week card is. So we got George Scott, Emmitt Smith. Nice to prolong the opening of the show to 11 minutes. That's my style. But I think it's funny as hell. I got Tyson Hogan chiming in here about Andy Hawkins. That's so funny. I know all about him pitching a no-hitter and losing. Sam Grasso's involved here. He's a Dorset guy as well. All right. Well, listen, big news coming out of Patreon. That's right. We are no longer at Patrick Ewing. We are at 34, which I believe is who's the guy who used to play the running back for the Bills?
Thurman Thomas.
Thurman Thomas was 34, right?
Yep.
Bob Sheehan, my boy from Colonia. I had dinner with him the other night. He thought he was getting number 33, and I said my cousin Joanne took that. So my buddy from Colonia, Bob Sheehan, is number 34 on Patreon. So we are well on our way to Joe Rogan area. I can't believe we got to get a 35 now. I mean, we could go with Dan Dorning.
First of all, I just had to reconfirm this. I'm ashamed of you right now, Jimmy. You went Thurman Thomas when, for crying out loud, he's part of one of your reads, number 34 and number 1 in your hearts, really. Charles Oakley was number 34 for the New York Knicks.
Oakley. Well, we're going to get to absolute eyewear in a second.
How can you do that?
Listen, I don't have
Herschel Walker.
I only have the website for Yankees and the Giants. I don't have the Nick. I got to see the Nick numbers. You know what I'm going to start doing? I'm going to start talking about referee numbers in the NBA. That's what I'm going to be doing. Coming up, Dick Bavetta. You know, I'm going to do. I think I'm going to have just do a whole show on Dick Bavetta. But maybe Kevin Dockery, Lee Guterman, Ralph Houck, old-time Yankee, Musina. Of course, there's Hideki Arabu.
He was 35, yeah.
So we need a number 35 coming up. Hopefully we'll get something this week. I got to wait till Sam Grasso's kids graduate college, and which will be probably another 10 years from now. I'll be on show number 970.
He's got 9 daughters or something. Something crazy. Not one boy.
Not one boy. That's great. That means he's going to have 3 people wiping his ass. He has to choose which one's going to wipe his ass. That must be tough. If you have daughters, so you have to I think before you start shitting yourself, you have to sit down. Everybody is so glad you can make it for Christmas Eve. I'm going to designate the middle kid. I'm so sorry. I know maybe not the middle kid because you were like the middle kid. You got blown over. I think we're going to go with the oldest daughter has to. Wait, your husband's an asshole. I don't know. I'm going to go with the youngest daughter. Maybe you guys could do a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but someone has to come in here, take my Depends off, and wipe my ass. Nice. I only have one daughter, so she's screwed.
Yeah, but, sorry, Nat.
I can tell right now, your son is going to have nothing to do with that.
No.
But that's always my running game when people have kids. I'm like, look, you got someone to wipe your ass when you get older. Anyway, so yeah, well, Patreon. God bless America. Again, this show sponsored by a full show sponsored by ChasingMiracles.com. Go talk to Tommy and Donna. I'm telling you, these patches are cool. You see a lot of swimmers, a lot of athletes wearing them. They're miniature. They go right on. They work with your stem cells, and nothing goes into your body, so it's not like you're doing chemicals or anything like that. So that's it. You got to do it. I'm wearing them now. So is my mother. God bless. Now let's get to something we love, we know and love. The British Open. I thought of something. Now, okay, I watch golf sometimes with the majors. I don't watch those other tournaments. Sometimes I do if there's something big or something. But I'm sitting home watching golf. You know who my favorite golfer is of all time? You should be able to guess this. Who do you think, based upon the players that I love, who do you think my favorite golfer
who's that?
is?
Who's that big guy that drinks and he can't walk the course anymore? What's his name?
Your friend and mine, Mr. John Daly. Now, here's
John Daly, yeah.
Okay, John Daly gets these exemptions.
Yeah, it's like you can go on the golf cart. And shit. He doesn't have to walk the course.
Okay, now this is how golf sucks to me. He didn't make the cut. Okay, wait a minute. I find this hysterical. But everybody's like, John Daly, he sucks. That fat bastard, right? Meanwhile, he shot a 77 and a 77, which is 6 over the par 71. So if any of my friends out there golf and you shoot a 77, you're going on Instagram, you're jumping around. So I went online. He shot 36 holes. If he just a quarter of those holes, a quarter of them, he just shot one shot better, he would have made the cut. So it's not like he was like a mess and all over the place. He was, he parred a lot of the holes. He did have 7 bogeys in first round, which stinks. And he had 5 in round 2, but he had 1 double bogey, but he had two birdies. And I'm like, you know what? This guy, he stinks, but he's also not that bad. Like, I've seen some of these other stars shoot 12 over par many times. So that's my new thing. My new thing is John Daly stinks, but he's not that bad. And everybody, if you don't root for John Daly, you're a jerk, because he's one of us. He's out there drinking, smoking. He's fat. He wears these ugly shirts. And if God forbid he ever comes in like 3 strokes back with like 8 holes to play,
people are glued to the TV watching
forget
that.
about it.
Must-see television.
Yeah, I have this big. I just thought it was funny. Like, everybody's like, "Oh, he sucks." I'm like, "Really? He sucks? When's the last time you shot 77 on a course, you fat bastard?" You know what I mean? and it's another testament where golf. Everybody talks about. We're going to get to NFL quarterbacks in a little bit, but golf is by far the hardest sport, I think. For 4 days, you got to put this little ball in a thing against, and everybody's capable of shooting a 67 at any given moment, especially the top. And it's 4 days. And you see guys, I would love to talk about and I think there is a documentary called like Losers or something, where guys have like 4-stroke leads on the last day and they become John Daly.
There's been a couple collapses recently where I'm just like, oh, nice. This guy's got a lock. And then like it's Sunday afternoon. We're about to go swimming. By the time we get inside for dinner, it's like, oh, wait a minute.
Here we go.
How bad of a day did he have?
It's such my argument that pickleball is for wussies, and I'm getting very good at pickleball now. But it's like to me, if a guy comes in, I average a 75 in golf. I'm like, you're a badass. You know what I mean? Because it takes you 35 years to do that.
I don't have the patience or
it's hot out. It stinks. I get by the 13th hole. I'm like, is there any beers left?
That's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of people are like, you want to go golf, and I'm like, well, how much beer do you have for the day? Because I suck at golf, so I got to do something.
Then you get that like 14th hole, like the buzz is wearing off. There's no more beers, and you're like,
a little bit of a
you realize you got to drive home or pick kids up in school. And you're like, all right, how many did I have? 6? Like,
start doing the
and
beer.
then you get bored. You're like, when you hit a ball out, you're like, I'm not gonna get it. And then the first hole, you're like, let me find my ball. I gotta find my ball. And by the 13th hole, I'm like, I got balls in my bag. Yeah, and then you get the ones with the stripe on it because you got it from some driving range or something like that.
Just steal
and then
them.
People say, oh, you got to use the women's ball or a softer head. I'm like, what are you talking about? I need to strike the ball properly. Golf is people.
I'm not even welcome at Topgolf anymore, man. They're like, get this animal out of my bay because he's an absolute crazy person. Like, he's getting so mad.
It makes me crazy. Which of course brings me to my kitchen sink. It's Segway day here at the stadium. All fans 18 and over. I need a new sink in my condo here, and
already
it was the sink was a disaster. It was all like scratched. Not even. I mean, it works, but it's like you can't have the sink. I got the first one. My buddy got it for me. Set me up. Dent. He sent another one. I drove to go get it. I was all excited. He got the new one. He starts opening up. Look at it, and there's like 3 BB gun holes in the thing, which I didn't see underneath the. And it's right in the front. I'm like, the gods of sinks have just not allowed me. They just don't want me to replace that shitty, filthy sink that I have. And it's just anybody who's ever dealt with appliances, it's just driving me crazy. I'm talking about it for no reason. Which brings me to Roselle Park. Segue day here. I did stand up last week in Roselle Park under outside in the heat.
Jimmy.
Under a gazebo.
Oh
okay.
So how about this weather, huh?
But there was like 20 people there. Right. I had to do 10 minutes. When I pulled my car up, okay, the car I almost drove my car onto the stage where, in other words, like my car was literally 17 feet from the microphone. The two girls before me, okay, they were little girls singing. So it was like, and then I was
Little Whitney.
And then, so I'm like, and one girl was actually not that bad. The other girl was horrible, but she gave it a shot. And then all of a sudden, right before I go on, she's like, "Oh, by the way, Jimmy, family, no cursing, no this, no that." So I'm like, okay. So Jimmy Palumbo with 45 minutes of material down to 10 minutes here. I couldn't say shit, the F word, anything. It was just, but you know what? I actually went up there. I didn't curse, and it was like
I can see you're altering your act. Like, who gives a hoot?
Yeah. I was like, there should be a button on Facebook called "Who Gives a Darn." That'll the kick is up, and it is no good.
It's left.
Way left. I was one of the. I felt like the kicker. As soon as he hits it, the defensive backs start running off the field. They know it's wide right away. The jackets come flying off. They run into the tunnel. Game over.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. But I actually had fun. My friend Roro set it up. It's kind of this community thing, but it was a little rough in the beginning. Because a bunch of old people sitting in chairs with oxygen tanks and staring at you. Like I was like, this is tough, man.
So wait, did you have a come to Jesus moment at all in those 10 minutes where you're just sitting around? You're standing around like, this is it. This is where life is taking me.
I took my daughter. Okay.
Dad, you suck.
And I made her sit right in front so I wouldn't curse. And right before she was like, she goes, "Dad, this is a bad gig." I said, she goes, "Oh, I'm so glad I didn't bring my friends to this one." God. I asked her to bring her friends. She's like, so bad.
So you got total opposite sides of the spectrum. You got 97-year-old with people 1 foot in the grave, and then you have 12-year-old girls that are like,
right. and then I'm doing bits about going to Kohl's and everything, and I'm like, wait a minute, all these people go to Kohl's.
they all have Kohl's bucks in their pocket right now. Like, what are you talking about?
The most depressing thing was my sister came with me. Actually, I have it on video. I'm gonna send it to you. It's so bad. My sister, all we wanted to do was go get a hot dog and a hamburger at Galloping Hill at 5 Points in Union.
Is that what they paid you in?
Yeah, right? We go there, and it closed 20 minutes after it was closed. So we couldn't even get like a shitty hot dog and burgers. But it was fun. I had fun doing it. And thanks, Rolo, for hiring me. And a couple of comedians were pretty funny, so it was cool. But so anyway, that's my stand. Now tomorrow night I'll be doing stand up in Spring Lake at the Breakers. But things are looking up at the docks. Me and Ryan Marr are doing a cool show there for Joe's Deli in Spring Lake. If anybody ever goes to Spring Lake, there's a cool deli there right by the chateau, right by the liquor store. There's a deli there, and he gets all his friends together. It's like 130 old men and young guys, and just all his customers. It's like fan appreciation night, and it was going to be Jimmy Palumbo and Ryan Marr busting balls, so that's cool. I also had a reunion day here at Shea from some old. I had dinner with you have like high school friends, but then you got like old school friends, the 70s. Or for me, one I hung out in the 70s.
Sure,
I'm talking middle school, St. John's crowd.
I got a couple of those still lingering around.
We went over to that restaurant in Clark, and which is owned by my another guy from Colonia, Michael Savas, and it was wild, man. I haven't seen so many. I haven't seen old friends, Jennifer Rahochi and. My Greg Miller, my buddy, who's a Patreon member, he moved back into town. He lives in Long Branch. Bob Sheehan was there. George Meitrowitz, Fran Amiano. I haven't seen Fran in 1,000 years.
Oh, we're doing the Patreon list without doing the Patreon.
Yeah, but it was just old school sitting around laughing about shooting BB guns, killing rabbits in the backyard, that kind of shit. And it was good because someone picked up the tab. I didn't pay, so God bless America.
How about that?
I was getting the grilled octopus. I was getting involved.
You were getting out the pay from the community center.
I was. I had money on me, ready to go. Of course, it was right by Vaccaro's there, which I wanted to get a glazed crumb bun. 3 people just drove off the road. But it was cool. We had old photo books. I realized that some of the photo books, I'm younger than my daughter.
That's crazy.
I'm wearing like awful shirts I thought were cool at the time. You know what I mean? So stupid. Anyway, it was fun. Good to see some people. And that's it. Which, of course, brings us to your friend and mine, Absolute Eyewear. Back on the schneid here after getting bumped for Chasing Miracles. Absolute Eyewear, 42 Main Street, Woodbridge, New Jersey, 732-326-3937, down by the train station here. Of course, I am coming to you, I didn't even say from downtown Mahwah here, from the awesome dining room studios, and Dave Sturchio's down there at Chop Sports Media Studios in Matawan. But Absolute Eyewear in Woodbridge, go see Craig and Johnine. I love Johnine because she waits like 4 days later, then she texts me with funny lines from the show. And,
yeah, she does that for me too. She says the show's so much better with me on it.
and wait a minute, and Sturchio with an uppercut, and Chris Gucci wants to talk it over here.
It's got a 30-second timeout.
Dave just that's what happens when you promote the show once.
I'll take it.
Gucci. No, but he laughed when I said something about my content other than my shitty content, and you started to laugh at me. So she got a kick out of that. But Absolute Eyewear, full service opticians. I got everything over there. Prescription eyewear, sunglasses, everything. Glasses for the kids. Get your eye exam. Best thing is when you leave there, you don't feel like a jerk off. They totally size you up. That their air conditioning works most of the time. And of course, Dave went there a couple weeks ago. There was no air.
Lost 3 pounds.
Craig was probably losing his mind. They're a diet center and their eyeglasses. No, they had an issue for a couple hours with
what's that? The glasses don't fit over your fat face. Just stand right here for about 3 seconds, and you're actually going to shrink a little bit, and they'll fit perfectly.
That's it. Maybe I guess Craig's in charge of paying the bills, and he forgot. I guess.
Under the bus. Right there.
No, I haven't talked to Craig. Craig, you don't call me. You suck. Anyway, their place is great. They do all kinds of stuff. They get $100 off a complete pair of glasses if you mention the Jimmy Palumbo Show or Chop Sports or Dave just mentioned whatever. Just mention podcast.
Yeah, right. Just say the word radio.
So anyway, it's too funny. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, available at Absolute Eyewear, Ray-Ban, Coach, Ralph Lauren, Dave Sturchio's Jimmy Choo, Silhouette, Michael Kors, Vogue, Maui Jim, Costa Del Mar, and Charles Oakley, number 34, shows up there with his glasses. All right, they're open 5 days a week, closed Wednesdays. Why?
That's because they got softball.
And they're closed Sundays. Why?
To watch the Giants and Saquon Barkley getting involved.
We're going to get to that in a second. All right, Absolute Eyewear. Go check it out down by the train station in Woodbridge, New Jersey. That's right. Well, I had an interesting week. I'm here to educate. That's why I do this podcast. I educate people. That's what I'm here. Rule number 77. Don't invite friends over for drinks while you're trying to hang 2 TVs on the wall. Because
Jesus.
It started off, we had measuring, it was real easy. We got it going. And then the vodka and tonic wants to talk it over. We started, it took us an hour to measure anything, holding stuff up, putting things up crooked. We got it all done. But it wasn't until 11:30 at night, and they got there at 6 on a Friday night. We forgot to even eat. We didn't order pizza.
It's so weird. I mean, maybe my invites got lost in the mail somewhere. I don't know. I never get invited to these things.
You don't get invited to
Mahwah.
Look at Sam Grasso. Breaking news. There's a second viewers. Yeah, but Sam.
Sam doesn't understand that it's a podcast. So like people do download it. I see those numbers. Imagine that. There are at least 3 to 4 people that listen to this every single week.
Listen,
so
you know what? Wait a minute, though. Wait, hang on a second. Wait.
I'm trying to justify this for you, Jimmy.
Okay, justify my download numbers in your little Chop Sports world. I'm on the starting roster. I'm still going 7 innings.
You were top 5, top 6.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not as good as Father Paul Hooley, so it's like 7,000 downloads a day.
Christ.
But and Sam with the cheap shot. I guess I'm sure you're working so hard. I know you have time to watch my shitty show, Sam, live here at 1 o'clock.
That's a good one.
But we hung the TVs up, and the Yankee game was going on. But the best part is I lost track of time, obviously, and it was 11:30, and I had to bang this one. I was looking for a stud, so you bang the nail in. All of a sudden, I hear bum bum bum, And I was like, what the hell's that? Thought like I knocked something over. The lady downstairs, who I don't know, I was drilling shit 11:30 at night on a Friday. She's back in the wall. I said, and we had one more screw to go. I had to get it in. So I drill it in. I hear bum, 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 bum. The next day, I asked my neighbor who I know, this nice Irish couple in their 70s. I said, hey, you know the lady downstairs? And they were like, oh, she's just a lovely woman. Oh, she's so sweet. Just tell her, just knock on the door, apologize. Okay. Then I see the husband in the hallway. And I said, yeah, I got to go down to apologize. I was making noise last night. He goes, oh, she's a pain in the ass. So I got the husband and wife there. But I knocked on the door. I said, hey, I'm so sorry. She's like, I know you're moving in, you're doing stuff. I said, I lost track of time. I didn't tell her I had, 11 vodkas.
And I was fucking hammered, by the way.
I was like, I'm so sorry. And she's like, and then she hit me with, so I was very kind, apologizing, really felt bad. Then she's like, and don't forget, nothing after 10:30, no dishwasher, no doing laundry. And I was like,
listen to her.
But I gave her a look like, well, that's not
You're not in one of those communities, are you? Are you that old?
No, they have rules where you can't, because I'm on the top floor here.
Oh, man.
Anyway, but the rule is, just don't try to hang TVs with your friends while they're
you gotta kick all the ladies of the night out by 10:30. No drilling after 10:30.
No drilling here. You know what I mean? And the next, yeah, please. But when I knocked on the door, I'm like, oh, maybe she's hot, And then all of a sudden I was like, all right, a young B. Arthur opened the door. I said, it's Golden Girl time here from the Omni.
And as you close the door, you're like, hey, thank you for being a friend. You just walk out.
If she was hot, I would be like, I'm so sorry. You need anything? I'll paint. I'll do anything you need. I'll hang your TVs.
You need the plumbing changed?
Oh, my God. So funny. And, of course, we got Mike Caprio signing in here. We have cornholelevel.com. Now, listen, I'm going to hold it up for the few people that are watching on the interweb. These are the little things here, cornholelevelers.com. You hook this thing on here. There's a little ball in the middle. You get it right. Because I know, Dave, you're the kind of guy.
Actually, as you're doing this read, I just want to let Caprio know that I'm in potential negotiations for him on behalf of cornholelevel.com to try to get him. I might want to talk to him to try to sponsor a Elks thing, a cornhole tournament. So nice. I think a tournament hosted by, or at least sponsored by Caprio would be a good thing. So,
I will. If he's listening right here, God bless America. Listen, you'll end up stealing another sponsor, getting involved. I'll be down to chasing miracles.
Whoops.
And Rutgers is license approved. So this one right here, this That's Rutgers so cool. one is available, which is cool as hell. I just have it here and people say, what the hell is this? But cornholelevel.com, they're $19.95. You get a 20% off your entire order if you put in JP Show and Chop Sports, I believe, is also there for that. Listen, these things are cool. Perfect gag gift. Perfect gift to give to a jerk off who's into cornhole, which means, I think the cornhole, pickleball, all these awful sports. I'm going to start a lawn dart league, old school lawn darts.
It's just for people that can't play real sports anymore, folks. That's really what we're at here. I mean, listen, if you're out of shape and you're John Daly of your cornhole league,
that's that's the basis of my show. It's every sport I talk about. You know what? I got to get John Daly on the show.
I'll make a call.
Yes. Just awful in every single way. At this point, let me see, where the hell are we at here? We can talk a little bit, man. The Yankees this weekend,
they sign of life, and then
first of all, the Royals stink, and they barely beat them 3 games. Right? Every game was close. Okay,
I didn't give a shit as long as we got
the win. Point, and we played the Mets, and the Mets stink. And I was watching the game in the beginning. I'm like, wow, these are 2 bad teams. They look out of sync, both of them. They're just. And Alonso was just hitting bombs all over the place. I mean, why did they even pitch to him? I don't even know. But, a couple of things with the Yankees. And I was actually talking with Johnine from Absolute Eyewear about this. The Yankees don't have proper players in their proper playing position. Their outfielders, it looks like, you ever have those softball games where you only have 6 at 3:30 and the game's at 6:15? So you call everybody
somewhere over there.
It's just like, you play right, you play left center. And that's I don't understand. These are the New York Yankees. Here's a new rule number 84. When you play in the major leagues, I don't want these guys. I hate the term athlete. I hate it with football recruiting. Rutgers always gets these athletes. That means he doesn't know where to play. That means he doesn't know how to play anywhere. I want a guy who's like, I'm a left fielder. How long have you been playing left field? Since I'm 8. You ever play anywhere else? No. I'm a left fielder. That's where I play. I want to go. Where do you play? Center field since I'm 9. Right field since I'm 10. Shortstop, second base. The guy, wherever you played in Little League, that's where I want you to play here in the major leagues. Yankees have these outfielders. How many bloops? The game would have been 2-0 yesterday. A couple of bloops in the outfield. You got to catch those balls. You know what? It's Yankee Stadium. It's left field. It's the big ball orchard in the Bronx. They were slow getting it. Poor Volpe looked like Secretariat running after the ball as fast as he could. And the ball, like in the left field, he's looking at the left fielder like, what are you, a jerk off? I mean, balls are dropping in. They're throwing the ball. It's just awful. And I just think they don't have the proper outfield. Mets played well. They got, Verlander on the mound. He's not having a great year yet. I mean, I think he's going to settle.
You can't say yet at this point. It's going to be August next week.
Yeah, but he could go on a run. He's that good.
Yeah.
You just knew he was just abusing Yankee batters. All the shitty, although Stanton did hit a rope to right field that almost got out. But all the players who really stink can't hit Verlander. It's just awful. And Germán, the Yankees, God, they stink.
I got some breaking news here for a little Rutgers Scarlet McKnights. You want that?
Is it Dylan Harper? That's all I care about.
No, it's actually Williams? As of 2 hours ago, Rutgers football coach Greg Schiano has named Gavin Wimsatt as the starting quarterback for the 2023 season.
That is
there's
big.
Your QB1.
Wow, that's QB1 before practice.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So I have other breaking news.
So he's out of the lunch line. He's coming out of lunch, and he's going right to the field.
I have other breaking news. Here we go. See this? I'm going to hold it up. Gavin Wimsatt by week 5 will not be the starting quarterback for Rutgers because Evan Simon should transfer. I swear to God. He didn't beat him out. See, that was an NIL call there. Listen.
Yeah, you're making $1 million this year, Gavin. I think we should name you the
only way Rutgers can be good is if Gavin Wimsatt plays what everybody says he's supposed to play. He hasn't shown me shit yet. But that's cool. I guess he should be the starter to start the season. But if I was Evan Simon, I'd be out of here. Anyway, I guess he's doing stuff in the film room.
And the transfer portal is open.
The portal is wide open. I don't know why. Schiano should have got a quarterback in the portal. I just want listen. I don't understand. I'm about to get emotional here. Why can't we get one of those little guys who's like 5'4"? He didn't start at all in high school and his senior year.
Why do you want that?
Because I want the guy who throws for 6 touchdown passes and he runs around, and I want a little. We're never going to get a guy who goes to Georgia, Auburn. I want a little guy. He's like, yeah, I'm too slow. I'm not fast enough. I can't throw. But
look at the most successful college quarterbacks as of late. You got guys like Stetson Bennett, who was like 100 years old, and he ain't running worth a lick. He's successful. Trevor Lawrence is a statue, 6'6", tall, long hair, successful. What the hell you want one of these? What do you want one of these Kyler Murray folks for?
Because we're not getting Lawrence to come to Rutgers. We got to get the little guys. Like, yeah, everybody says I stink, but we did score 45 last week. Like,
and I ran a 3.440.
I want a guy when it's 3rd and 9, nobody's open because our receivers think, and he scrambles out of bounds and like gets knocked out of bounds late with a flag, move the chains. Like, that's a guy.
now we're reaching here.
I also want a guy like, I want a guy who's like, yeah, I only lost 1 game in high school. Like, we never get that. I don't care if we played against St. John Vianney and Colonia. I just want someone who's a winner, like who walks in the locker room and goes, guys, I don't want to lose anymore. I'm a little guy. Let's light this shit up. Anyway. But Wimsatt looks the part. He looks so cool on the field. And the next thing you know, it's 4th and 9.
And out comes the rugby punter.
We also have a new punter this year. He's also from Australia.
An Australian punter. That's another drop punt.
By the way, what did I say about Adam Corsak's in the Canadian League? Okay, which nobody cares about the Canadian League. But who's the best punter in the Canadian League statistically right now? Adam Corsack. You're a friend of mine. He will be in the NFL. This guy, wherever. I don't understand. He kicks, the other team starts inside the 15. Isn't that what you want? And who has more experience than a Rutgers punter? We're like punter you. Because, like, you imagine being a dad, all of a sudden, wow, Rutgers may want you. Dude, you're gonna punt like 40 times a game. This way you want to go.
You get a lot of reps.
If you're a punter and you play for Rutgers, you can't say, "Yeah, I just didn't get a chance. The scouts didn't see me." Yes, they did. They saw you ad nauseum. You were like this. I swear they should retire Adam Corsak's number. Should be right next to 52. Up there on the board, Adam Corsack, arguably the best player in college football the last 2 years. I'll argue that on Jeopardy. I'll say yes, he is. When he kicked, the other team started at the 9, and they went right downfield and scored.
And a 91-yard drive, plays.
No doubt about it. Anyway, the other thing I want to talk about, two things. The Yankees are putting patches on the uniforms now. Did you see that?
Yeah, so what? I mean, welcome to 2023.
Okay. See, this is
I know you're old school, and so am I. But like at this time, like look at every other sport, man. It's like it was only a matter of time for these guys to catch up to the times to make themselves a bunch of money.
It's $17 for a 6-ounce beer. The parking is $45. It sucks to drive in there. It's the pinstripes, the interlocking NY, and you're putting Dave Sturchio's podcast on the thing, on the Jimmy Palumbo show. That's awful. Penn State.
I want to see the picture. If you're watching this right now, see the picture of me and Jimmy next to each other. That's what I want. A patch on
First of all, Penn State, Notre Dame, they don't change their uniforms. That's what's cool about it. Rutgers changes.
Notre Dame's been like independent forever. They have nothing about nothing. I'm surprised they really don't have the NBC Peacock on there at this point, because that's all they, that's their biggest.
And I want to know, how much are they making on this? You know what I would do? So listen,
no idea.
$8 billion, and we'll put like Lou Gehrig, Babe Ruth, they had Joe DiMaggio.
But look at every NBA team right now has a patch on their chest of Squarespace or fucking. It could be anything.
No, listen. The money from Yes, and I don't even like it when they put the pink shit on. Yeah, Yankees should write a check. Say, here's our check to not have to wear the pink.
Listen to you.
And you know what? And they're wearing those military hats. You're watching the game. Imagine if a guy throws a no-hitter and on Yes Network for the rest of his life, he has to see what. I mean, I'm all for support of the military. Just like give the tickets away to the military people. Have the whole stand filled with military people.
Here, I just looked it up for you as a good producer that I am. That logo, that patch, is paying the Yankees $25 million a year. So there you go.
Okay, so what is that?
So for 4 years.
So for
George million,
basically for George Scott, that's what they're getting right.
George Scott, right? $25 million a year through the 2031 season.
Okay. So what are we talking about? A middle reliever?
We're talking about $200 million. We're talking about go get yourself Mr. Shohei Ohtani getting involved.
Now listen, that would be better. We got the patch. We got Ohtani. Announce it and make the patches say Ohtani.
There you go.
Come on, that's
as long as listen. The only thing I'll stand on like the mountaintops for is do not ever put a name on the back of the jersey. That would throw me off.
You'd rather have a patch than the name on the back.
Because they've done all these things before. You know what I mean? Like they've had the line for somebody, and then they had a 6 for Torrey, and they had all these memorandum. Like, yeah, so this one's gonna pay you $25 million to put a fucking logo. Who cares? Who cares? But just don't put the name on the back of the jersey. Let's do that.
Bad enough they stink, and now they're wearing patches.
Well, they're $25 million richer.
and they're not wearing patches from ChasingMiracles.com, the X39 and X48.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's awful. The other thing we'll talk about is Saquon
Barkley. The dumbest thing I could have ever read the other day.
He didn't handle that right.
No, his agent should be fired. That was unbelievable. So the franchise tag is 10.9. That's what the running back franchise tag is. He refused to sign that to make anywhere up to 11 or no, 11.4. So you bitched and moaned for like $500,000, and you have to earn the rest. And then you still give the Giants the ability to franchise you after this season.
Right. And
what is the point?
And it looks like I think they probably will do it.
Depends how his year is.
No, you know what they're going to say? Another year on. You know what? Running backs are like when you buy tires. You don't buy new tires that are used. You just don't. And running backs are a dime a dozen. Man, how many times we sit and watch games and who the hell's this running back? Where did this guy play? San Diego
State?
State?
That's why these guys aren't making money anymore. That's why the market is completely shifted.
It shifted. The offensive lineman they just signed made like $176 million.
And guess what?
Tackle.
Offensive line makes the world go round. So you better believe you're going to get the money.
So this was not handled well by Barkley. And why should the Giants? They offered him the rumor that was like what, 2 years, 24 million, something like that.
He was upward near $13-14 million a year at some point, and he denied it.
Now he's like, I'm a team player. And the guy in Oakland or whatever, he's going to get screwed. Listen, running backs just don't make the money. Idea. I mean, listen, Gus Edwards was a Rutgers back. He played for the Ravens.
And I love him to death, but this is all Ezekiel Elliott's fault, all right? Because when he made that $90 million deal and he was making $16 million a year, it made everybody else catch up to speed, like the McCaffreys of the world. And all of a sudden, you see guys like Isaiah Pacheco, who is a 7th-round draft pick, all of a sudden winning Super Bowls. You don't need this know-how anymore. So that's why it's like, they're trying to start a union and shit, but now this crushes their case. By the way, crushes it.
And you're going to see. I mean, what's his name? The guy, the Cowboy running back, the fast
Tony Pollard.
Right now, listen. He looks like he's
the franchise.
He looks like he's going to be a good player. But you know what? It's the NFL, man. Those little fast guys who, as a Cowboy fan, you really got to look at who their backup running back is because
they got a decent deep room, but
because you know why that Pollard's going to get nicked up. Every running back gets nicked up for a game or two.
He's coming off a broken ankle,
right? So
he got beat up last year.
It's just weird how all that works. I just think the Barkley thing, it should have been handled better. I don't know. I guess he tried to fight. But another thing is, Barkley made a lot of money by being the second pick overall. Yeah. So it's not like, he's not like he made millions of dollars already. Millions.
Yeah, no, he ain't broke. He's not broke, but the whole holding out thing for an extra couple $100,000 almost at this point.
Sometimes, sometimes the player holds the chips and sometimes,
this is the Giants saying, we win.
No, it's the Giants saying, hey, we love you, but we're paying you what running backs are getting paid now.
You know what it was? The Giants went out and signed James Robinson, who was played with the Jaguars and the Patriots.
Right.
And he was a free agent. So they're like, all right, you want to play hardball? That's fine. We got J. Robin here. He's about to run the rock. And Barkley was like, all right, just give me like $1 million more and we'll call it a deal. And it's like, oh, okay, cool. And that was it. That was all that she wrote.
Good for him. I love him as a player. I think he's a very good player, and he's
Daniel Jones would have had a hard time without him in the lineup.
He showed up in camp right away and all that today. So God bless.
What a hero! Yeah,
but he should fire his entire agents, and I think staying in New York, if he plays another 2 or 3 years, will help him post-career stuff as well. Which means it's time for OxyMagicUSA.com. Jeremy Palumbo sponsor mania here at the stadium. OxyMagicUSA.com. These are not your traditional carpet cleaning people. No. Tom and Natalie over there, they don't drag the hoses through. They got the different kind of things. The drying time is 1 to 2 hours. They got the green seal, their EPA Safer Choice certification going on here. It's a shame Charles Barkley was about to work for them if he didn't sign. Their products are certified green. They do wall-to-wall carpeting, rugs, upholstery. They did my carpets. They made my daughter's room look awesome. The guy couldn't have been nicer. Brian came in here and helped me out. They have 80 locations nationwide. OxyMagicUSA.com. That's OXY. Why? Because they're a great company. OxyMagicUSA.com. Now they're offering a special 0% company financing for new location owners. Dave Sturchio and I thought about owning the carpet cleaning business. We dabbled in it. It's still,
after your 20-person stand-up gig in a park, I feel like Oxy-Magic is just that much closer in your future.
Listen. Like we talked about, if we become an OxyMagicUSA.com carpet cleaning, we're gonna do the show live.
Welcome
with
to the Oxy-Magic podcast.
Yeah,
sponsored by Jimmy Palumbo.
Oh, and check it out. Someone spilled some oil over here on the right side. Dave's going to rub it out here, spraying some perfect OxyMagicUSA.com stuff. I
will be using them, by the way, Jimmy. I actually have to get their contact because I will be using them in my home literally like next week.
It's actually, I kid around, but it's awesome. The guy, it just was much easier. It wasn't complicated at all. The guy was cool. I'll get you. We'll talk off the air about that.
Yeah, for sure.
No, I mean, you know what? Maybe I'll go make you go on the website, act like it. No, I'll take care of you on that.
I heard you on the Jimmy Palumbo show because I co-hosted.
I'm on the Jimmy Palumbo show. OxyMagicUSA.com. And if you want to own your own location, 0% company financing, and you can get you all set up and trained, and you can rock and roll. So, and tell them Jimmy Palumbo show sent you. The pickleball, of course, pickleball day here at the stadium. I'm starting to play well. The ankle's feeling better here at Shea. I changed my game. I went to the soft game.
You closed your stance?
I closed my stance. The dink game. That's why I'm going to play Tom and Natalie. I haven't seen Tom and Natalie. Rumor has it, Tom, from Oxy Magic, that you got you injured yourself, or you're down the shore, probably enjoying your life. But so the pickleball thing has been fun. I know some of my friends are going to a pickleball camp next week. They wanted me to go. I'm like, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't go to a camp.
What are you, guest instructor?
I mean, it's like I'm not gonna. I'd end up drinking myself half to death in Saugerties, New York. So yeah, pickleball starting to kick ass again. I'm back on the tour. But really, the big thing is I'm wearing the shirt here. How'd
it go? How much do you have to pay for that shirt?
They gave him away free if you sign up. There we go. I had to show my SAG card. Now, as you guys know, SAG-AFTRA's on strike. Now, if you guys know, I'm telling you now, if you don't know. Everybody's like, hey, dumb actors, they shit. Why are they striking? It's the same shit as any other union. We got issues with producers and residuals that directly affect me. SAG has been awesome to me. Pension and health benefits that are awesome. But I did find out there's 160,000 SAG members. Only 13% are qualify for the health benefits. So I am in the top. I am Jimmy Palumbo in the top. So you could say, if someone said you're an actor, yeah, I'm in the top 13%. I feel like it's the NCAA tournament. Like,
wow, I didn't know that.
As far as I'm concerned, I'm ranked 13th in the country. That's just how it is right now.
You have SAG insurance?
Yeah, SAG insurance and a pension. Getting involved here from down.
Those 100 credits or 100 plus credits are doing you justice.
Listen, I got Daredevil coming on. Palumbo's alive. Nice. I actually am close to booking something that I can't even discuss, but we got to wait till the strike ends, I guess. But Jimmy Palumbo hitting threes from the Omni here. But no, the strike is it was cool. We went to Times Square. Bryan Cranston really went up there and spoke. It was cool.
He was there?
Yeah. He spoke at the end. He closed it out.
Nice. Walter White.
Yep, he was up there. They went nuts for him. We were right in the middle of Times Square, and there was some people there. I felt like I felt like old timers day, and I played with the '80s Yankees, the shitty ones, though, like Whitey Ford. Like, yeah, I get announced early. Like the announcer doesn't say your friend and mine, Jimmy. I get the feeling it was like, here's a guy played from '83 to '85, had a big 3-run home run at Fenway in August of that year. Your friend and mine, Jimmy, and you get that spattering of them. I haven't seen the guys, the old voiceover guys. I saw a couple of them started busting chops, and but people had the signs out, Union Strong. The best was they had a couple of actors come up. Some of them are on TV shows, you know who they are. And Bryan Cranston, obviously, people know. But the best was they had 3 guys come up to speak that were like, I'm Vinny Di Pasquale. I'm in charge of the New York Unions. This guy was like, this is Union Town. I'm with the iron workers. They're in the back. It was like, this guy looked like a caricature of Vinny from Queens telling everybody it's a Union Town. The rest of the country don't know what the hell's going on. Everybody started to cheer. I'm like, look at this guy. He's getting on TV on Eyewitness News. Eyewitness News almost interviewed me, but I would have played like, I don't know what the issues are. I want my pension.
What's your biggest issue? I tell you what, the Knicks need a point guard.
Hey, what's your biggest issue? Well, right now, Rutgers just announced Wimsatt as the starter, and I think he stinks. No, the big thing is residuals. You know, Netflix and Disney and Peacock, and they own these rights to stuff, and they pay pennies on the dollar. And these networks make money on these things. You know, it's really an issue. Like certain shows, especially the HBO Max, I get pennies, and certain other shows I make more money on. That for residuals, but you know, residuals are a big part of my income. So
now they have to play. They have to play for you to get residuals, or have them.
Well, that's
there?
the thing. Netflix doesn't announce their downloads.
Yeah, that's bullshit. They know. They got to expose that, right?
They know, but they don't. There's no. That's so now you're going to have some people saying, if I sign a deal with Netflix, you have to, privately tell me how many people are watching. But they're also pulling shows off these networks now. But then they own the right to it, so it's like. It used to be that Netflix just
now you're in purgatory.
Right. And now it's like, okay, you want to pull it? Then I get it back. And that's why I think Netflix is going to run into trouble, because they, Paramount and Disney and Comcast, NBC Universal, Peacock and all that, these are big companies that they have a library, content, even Disney Plus. I mean, I'm sure eventually you're going to be able to watch any game ever on ESPN that you're just going to type in, I don't know, some football game, San Diego State, Notre Dame, boom, it's going to come up and stuff like that. And so it's really about you get a guy who creates a show and he's got to get paid for it and stuff like that. There's also issues with AI that could duplicate extras and background actors and stuff like that. Also, they can call, like my voice, even with doing this podcast, my voice can be culled from the internet. So can yours, by the way.
No, I know.
And next thing you know, you could be doing a Dave's. They could take every syllable, and you could be doing a radio spot, okay, in Idaho, and you don't even know it.
I know.
You know that?
The more popular ones are the AI is taking like rap people's voices and creating like these freestyle raps, and it's not them. So it's kind of crazy. It like sounds just like them, and the verbs and the verbiage and the words are not their written words. So you got to be careful, because it's like, what if he says something outlandish and you're like, I can't believe this guy said that. I'm like, well, no, it was kind of the AI guy who said that, not me. And then that's where that's the waters.
It's hard, man. And what about if you wrote a PhD paper or something 20 years ago, or you wrote a comedy show, and then people can steal your written work, and it's all mixed in. So it's half your work, half somebody else's. Really, at the end of the day, a lot of the AI for printed stuff is really plagiarism. So if I'm on, like, for instance, if I'm on here and I'm saying Gavin Wimsatt sucks, and someone AI says, does Gavin Wimsatt sucks? I may have a line from this show, me saying, Dave Sturchio sucks. I just want to make sure I got that out there. Like Chris Gucci has, Chris Gucci. I thought he was supposed to come on today, by the way. Gucci.
Oh, he's been, I don't know what the hell he's doing.
Where is he? I texted him. He didn't text me back.
Of course, he doesn't text me back, and I'm his business partner. He doesn't text me back. I don't get. He's got 17 fucking phones, all lined up on his desk. They all vibrate all day. He don't talk to nobody. It's incredible. If you're not Ashley, you ain't getting an answer.
Well, I don't even know. You know what? I think I texted him. I don't even know if I got his right phone. There's one with like a 485 zip code or something.
Dude, I have no idea. Like I said, I got Gooch bat phone, Gooch something else. Like I have like all these. It's
all right.
It's like he's running from the law or something.
I know, maybe he is. Maybe next week we got to get him on. I'll talk.
Even Sam just chimed in. Tough guy to get a hold of. Absolutely. Sam literally shows up at the studio unannounced sometimes. Like, hey, I'm here for my shit. Yeah,
I have to. Maybe I'll come down there one day and do a show from down there.
Let's do it.
Also sponsored by Pine Tar Bar and Grill, 121 South Main Street, Forked River, New Jersey, 609-489-4286. The best sports bar in New Jersey. Go say hello to Tommy Plinio. They got like 17 million TVs in there. The food is awesome. They got a good Italian chef in the back. He knows what he's doing. They got karaoke, college football, NFL, baseball, the Amazon, Apple shit. He's got all that wired around.
Oh, nice.
They got indoor, outdoor thing. They got darts outside. PineTarBarGrill.com. Go check it out. Also, if you're feeling shitty about yourself, give Lisa Ruane a call, 201-725-1251. Certified therapist, good people. If you're 18 and over, she does hypnotherapy, regular therapy. She's gotten a few clients from me, which is cool. She's a cool girl. She does Zoom or in person. If you're, I'm big on this. If you're not feeling right, you're just not feeling right. And,
especially if you actually suffered through 58 minutes of the show, you might want to talk to somebody after.
See that. I don't know. Maybe you're a Cowboy fan and you don't really remember what 1996 was like. Or maybe you're a Cowboy fan and a Rutgers fan, or maybe you're a Jet Rutgers and a fan and you haven't won anything in a million years. Yeah. Give Lisa a call, 201-725-1251. I just want to let you know, because your son, the big Jet fan that he is.
Yeah, yeah.
Lisa is a huge Jet fan, so she's all excited about it. And by the way,
I got to show you. But keep going. I got to show you something real quick because it's the greatest picture I've ever seen in my life. So I got sent a picture of Miles playing, right? And I zoomed in.
Your dad, it was great.
That's his ankle.
He's got bigger ankles than you.
Right.
I tell you, he's going to be.
You zoom out, and there he is, the stud muffin that he is. But like his ankle,
he
is a linebacker. He's going to be chasing down quarterbacks the rest of his life.
He's going to be at some shitty school playing linebacker, and he's going to get to the NFL by just hitting people and slapping people around.
He's ready to go, man. He's already taken down stats.
He'll be wearing. Listen, the Jets will be good by then. He'll be going nuts.
Aaron Rodgers will be in year 86.
First of all, I do have one thing I'm really dreaming about. All I want, because I listen to sports radio. I love that stuff. I'm rooting for the Jets this year. I am. I want to see Rodgers do well. But you know what I'm really rooting for? Please. I want the Jets to lose opening day because I want them to lose opening day. Aaron Rodgers throws 3 picks, and then I just want to listen to WFAN from 4:00 till midnight. With these fans
like, bro, I knew he was gonna suck. Oh my god!
I just want Aaron Rodgers to shit the bed week 1 because Vinny from Queens, Jet fans are funnier than by far the funniest fan base. They will just say it's over. I can't take it anymore. And then I think Rodgers is going to do just fine with it. But anyway, all right. That's our show here at Shea. Next week, we may have Chris Gucci on for a minute if we get in touch with him. I lost a host. It's when you
lost the host. I lost the business partner. I don't know where the hell he is.
It's that live from the Dave Sturchio studios.
At this point, one day.
In Eatontown.
Right. Just completely moving out of Mattawan. Yeah.
Out of Mattawan. He's in Eatontown here at Shea. All right. Listen, I love everybody. Thanks for listening. And I'll talk to you guys later on.
All right.